Oh shit, dude. Oh boy.
Welcome back to the Content Complete podcast featuring myself, Spencer, my friend Matt with the NFL Gaming TV, and the one and only almost super fist cake here to answer the age-old question: who fists the fist cake?
Nobody. We're not in that kind of level in our relationship yet with me and my girlfriend. So we're taking it slow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
that's the trust you got to build up over years.
Yeah. Just a thumb. So.
Just the thumb. Okay.
The thumb.
Okay. Yeah. You know, taking it one digit at a time, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard the secret is just the fisting. Just kind of like eventually, like you're supposed to like slide in there and then make the fist. You're not supposed to actually punch your way into the hole.
Yeah. Don't literally like brute force it.
Well, as fascinating as this conversation is,
welcome to Content Complete, where we talk about fisting and fisting others. Oh. The fisting let's plays of the video games and life.
Are there? Okay, I'm not even going to ask the question. But anyways, moving on. We're going to talk about what we did this week, what we played, what video games, stuff that we took part in. Fistcake, you go first. What did you play this week?
Well, this week I played a little bit of fucking everything. I played Persona 5, which I was, just like, you know what? After work, I'll just play a little bit of Persona 5 just to kind of get a feel for it. Just, enjoy a little bit before I, actually make a video for it.
Yeah.
And I did that all week. I haven't really done a whole lot of anything else besides play Persona 5. And
yeah, I want to play it so bad, but I'm like, if I play it, then I'm going to leave Kingdom Hearts behind. Because I'm pretty much a one-game kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Persona makes, you can't, like, just dabble in a little bit of Persona. You can't, like, oh, yeah, I'll just pick this up and play it again later.
Mm-hmm.
It takes your life.
Yeah,
it takes everything from you.
Yeah, the only reason why we're playing multiple games at once is because we have series on them that we record for. Otherwise, like, we'd be going through just, like, Tales of Zestiria. Zestiria?
Yeah, I think it's Zestiria.
I think so.
And then go through Final Fantasy XII. But it's like, we're doing all of them.
So, everybody,
and Tales of Rozarria and Shadow of Mordor. It's crazy. Anyways, this is about you.
Oh no, you're fine. Yeah, no, you guys are streaming that. That's pretty cool. But so I played that. Didn't record anything for that yet. I have played PlayerUnknown's Battleground and some more H1Z1 King of the Kill Friday during my stream.
Nice. Is that fun? What is that?
It's just
H1Z1 King of the Kill is basically a more arcadey version of PlayerUnknown's, or like less realistic, quote unquote.
Yeah, because I think we watched a bit of because we watched Northernlion and friends play Battlegrounds, and I think they originally had a series on King of the Kill, like before.
No, I think that was just back when it was just H1Z1 before they split it.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so I actually heard some people talking about the differences between those two, and one of them was that it's more fun to play Battlegrounds, but then a little bit more fun to watch King of the Kill stuff, because apparently there's like a whole slew of like inside jokes and things that they do that just kind of, because it's been around for a little longer than Battlegrounds by like months.
So, yeah, it's been around for a little bit longer than Battlegrounds. Yeah, no, I think they're both fun in their own ways. It's just, like H1Z1 is more quicker, I would think, maybe. I guess that's the word I'm trying to think of. And PlayerUnknown's like more like, oh no, oh fuck, you gotta survive, dude. You gotta kill everybody. You gotta get in there. You gotta do shit.
You feel accomplished just for like picking up a gun and then like hitting them with a bullet like once.
I missed it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And the King of the Kill is pretty much like, oh Jesus, everybody's running around a fucking car. Oh God, shoot everybody. Oh no, they ran me over.
They got cars now?
Boy. Yeah, King of the Kill does, yeah. I haven't played a whole lot of that, and I was playing with a few of my friends, and I was hiding behind like wooden fences and whatnot, because I didn't know they could break through wooden fences.
Mm-hmm.
I found out when a car drove through a wooden fence and ran me over. So
That's the way to
was
find
pretty
out.
Cool. Yeah. Like, oh.
That's
so
how
they
the
can
entire
do
human
that.
race has figured everything out. Someone's had to die for every discovery.
Pretty much. I mean, you gotta wonder about the story about toilet paper and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Who died of
Before,
infection
they would
first?
just pine cones and poison ivy.
You gotta use the poison ivy. Keeps you woke. Keeps you lit.
Keeps your butt lit, fam. Jesus, I want to kill myself for saying that.
Butt lit, fam. Oh boy. I'm trying to think what else. I'm playing Resident Evil 7 on the PlayStation 4 for the video games in 5 minutes and hour of power to kind of like just make it a little bit simpler for me so I can actually release something within the next 2 weeks or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, nice.
But yeah, I'm still going to play Nier Automata after this, but if you're like, well, I can still have fun with the game and I can also review it not review it critically, but like bake some notes on it because I played it.
Have a bit more of an opinion on it, yeah.
Yeah, because I've been on it twice before anyway, so it's not like it's going to take me too long to beat the game again.
And you can actually take the
noticed
time to
something,
showcase particular things about the game.
A little funky in your H, or not your H1, but your Battlegrounds video update. Were you playing with the controller?
No, for some reason, this happened like last week or so, but basically it just shows the inputs for controllers, but I'm just using my mouse and keyboard.
That's super weird.
Do you have the controller plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged in, and it's never done this before until literally like
I would
this
try
last
playing
week.
it without the controller plugged in.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure he has the buttons down.
Well, yeah, no, I'm
Yeah.
just saying. I feel like all it's doing is just recognizing that there's a controller there, and there's some weird like thing with it. So, yeah, I think just unplugging the controller would probably fix that. I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem to be a problem for you though. So.
Yeah, no, it's not like a like taking control over the keyboard or anything. It's just for some reason it's like, yeah, there's a controller plugged in. You're using that, right? Okay, cool. That's all. That's all you got, right?
Mm-hmm.
No,
and
it's
then what are the differences between King of the Kill and then Battlegrounds?
They're very similar, honestly. Like they're very similar.
Do you fight other people, or is it you guys versus zombies, or what?
No, it's the exact same. It's like the same game mode, I think.
Yep, no, you're entirely right. The difference I would say is one, the map. It's like a different area, different stuff, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Two, King of the Kill is a lot more quick and a lot more like I would have to, just probably like quick and more. I can't think of like the words for it because like
more actiony.
Well, I'd heard that
kind of, yeah.
mechanics wise, like gunplay and just the way the physics are and stuff like that, it makes it a bit more a bit less skill based.
Yeah, it's I would say that too, because there's like a lot of differences. Like one, you have crafting in H1Z1, like you can make your own armor and stuff. And the cool thing about H1Z1 is you can like customize whenever you like pick up certain gear. Like if you pick up like a tactical helmet, you can choose what skin you can use for it when you before you start loading up the game and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's nice.
So like you can have like whenever you pick up like body armor, you can always have like a road sign that says "dead end" or something on it. Or if you get a certain...
I remember.
I remember that. Yeah.
Because Norland was like picking up like jackets or the heads and being like, hey, everyone give me your helmets. I'm going to skin them. So we all have the same helmet, just like stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah. But there's that. And yeah, physics are completely off. With parachuting down with H1Z1, like it's not very parachutey. It's like basically you're controlling like a character in air, and you just either want to shove them right down to the ground or kind of like slide them left or right or whatever. Whereas PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, it's more like, oh, it's a real parachute. Oh, you gotta like actually glide down to your area or circle around to actually land. But with H1Z1, you can like literally like just have your entire body like go flat, go down to the ground, and just land. It's like, oh, okay, well,
like a controlled fall.
Yeah, it's kind of like when like those like if your character kind of like bugs out like in any game when he just does like the whole standing arms wide thing
with arms wide open.
Oh god. Who was that? Creed.
Creed, yeah.
Creed. Yeah. No boy.
Good old Creed.
Creed,
No.
the Nickelback before Nickelback.
and many more. Yeah, like there's like a lot of subtle differences, and I honestly have fun with both of them. I'm just not a huge fan of like crafting stuff during H1Z1, but I would have to say I'd have to play a little bit more before I like start judging it harsh. Like, yeah, this game sucks. 0 out of 10. When I play again, meh.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Give it
Yeah.
a chance, I guess. Also, taking time to craft something, I'm sure, provides like a next level bit of stress if you're trying to make something specific and you're under, like, oh, I'm inside this house. Someone could come in at any moment. I got to make this bandage or make this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but it does add to that. But like, I'm just not used to crafting yet because with PlayerUnknown's, you don't have to craft anything. The closest thing you got to crafting is attaching stuff to your guns, which I don't think you can do that with H1Z1. I'm not for sure if you can. I haven't seen it yet, but again, I've only played like 3 rounds.
It's really weird to have crafting, but then also not attachments.
Yeah, I mean, I guess to each their own. I'm not for sure what the deal is there, but yeah, I had to play a little bit more before I can like kind of like summarize. Like, oh yeah, this is this is that, this is why.
Yeah, I got you. Interesting. Any other games you've been playing?
Trying to think. I don't think so. It's been Persona 5 and Resident Evil 7 and all the Battle Royale games.
Nah.
That's it for me. What did you guys play this week?
No,
Or did you
spooky,
have a
scary
question?
skeleton. Why are you looking at me, dude?
Oh no, I always end up being like, oh, we played this and that and that. So I was just gonna give you, open mic to be like, maybe he wants to say stuff.
Well, you talk about what you played, and then
Okay.
I'll talk about what I played.
Okay,
We
I'll
played
t-
different things.
Yeah, we did. So, I played starting Monday this last week. I played some Tales of Berseria on our stream, 7 p.m. Alpha Gaming TV, and then on Wednesday, Matt and I switched off for Shadow of Mordor. Some crazy stuff happened. Actually, some crazy. Well, Tales of Berseria was a little bit less crazy, but Shadow of Mordor, a lot of crazy stuff happened. And
On
then
Shadow of Mordor, did you like kill everybody again?
We went to a new area,
we finally got to the second area of the game.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool.
and I was
Yeah.
like, I like this area way more than Mordor.
Matt tends to like more colorful areas that have,
Well, everything in Mordor just looks like it's like the same.
oh
Everything's
yeah,
like
it's like
gray
a dead
and
area. Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to be there.
I want to go to the
wanna
place
kill
with the
people.
trees.
I want to see some trees and greens and shit.
I want to kill people in the fields. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
I thought the crazy thing about Shadow of Mordor is the whole time I'm like, because we got all the towers or whatever for Mordor. I didn't know there was another area. I
Yeah,
thought that
me
was just
neither.
the area. So I was like, when the fuck do we get the brand ability? Because we're just like,
We're just not branding
Yeah,
people.
we're just not branding people. And then they don't even make a big deal out of it.
No.
No, all of a sudden you can just brand people
Yeah, it's crazy too because they don't mention it like hardly at all.
at all.
And then out of nowhere they're like, now I can brand. It's like he knew about it the whole time.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. And then you just do it. And
Yeah.
then the game is like literally an entirely different fucking game. And it's honestly like way more fun once you get to brand people and just have a whole like, posse of assholes coming with you.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing when that first happened. I was like, there's a whole other area. What the heck? Okay, well, that's cool. And yeah, like the way he brought up the branding, it's like, oh, yeah, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be nice to know, like, I don't know.
And I want
the
to.
whole game.
What the fuck is wrong with the people in the Middle Earth?
Oh, yeah.
Because every single time one of these motherfuckers are getting their minds like messed with,
We call it getting
they-
worm-tongued.
Yeah, they get worm-tongued, and like their hair turns gray. They get all ugly and stuff like that. And then once they figure it out, oh shit, this person's being like screwed up, and then they return to normal. Why didn't you just like notice that she's looking all old and shitty, and then be like, oh, I guess something's fucking with her? Like, what the fuck? It happens every time. It's
Yeah,
a
it's the same
surefire
thing.
sign.
Every time.
Well, it's Saruman controlling that one queen lady, right?
Yeah, it's Saruman. And
And
then
he-
before
and
it's
he-
it's Wormtongue, like, which I think also is again Saruman. Both times it was Saruman.
Yeah, because he controls that one guy in
The steward of Minas Tirith.
yeah, that guy. Yeah, so I mean, I can kind of understand that, like being like not everybody like kind of getting that, but
But you're
like,
also in
but you're
like
also
Middle
seeing
Earth,
somebody like,
you
but you're
know?
also seeing somebody get sick and old though too, like really quickly. But
Yeah. When we first
they're
saw
all
her
go-
and she was like, "Yeah, this is my mom." I'm like, dude, it's like her grandma.
Mhm.
That is like her grandma. That is no way. That's her mom.
And as soon as they're like, "Oh, she's being, influenced by Saruman," I'm like, it's the same signs every time. They look old and shitty. All right, they look old and shitty.
They talk
They're
weird.
they're getting fucked by Saruman. All right.
Yep, mentally fucked.
it's like
Every time.
Right.
The signs are there.
in the brain bowl.
It's like being like, "Oh, you have chicken pox," and you have like all these chicken pox, and people are like, "I don't think that's chicken pox." I don't think that is.
No,
Yeah,
they're
I
just
think
sick.
they're just, they're just tired.
It's just oldness. I don't know what happened. They came back
My
from the
mother-
trip.
literally
suddenly got
covered in chicken
freckles.
pox. I don't know. It doesn't look like
Guys, I'm itchy. What is this? It's not chickenpox.
It's not chicken pox.
It can't be. No, that's crazy. There's no way chickenpox will be here.
Stupid
Chicken pox
motherfuckers
doesn't
in
exist.
Middle Earth.
Rah.
Anyways, continue.
Well, besides that, we picked up Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age, the Zodiac Age, which is a remaster of that. We're going to talk a bit more about the features for that a little bit later on. But we played what, like
Probably
4
like
hours,
4 or 5 hours of
4 or
it.
5 hours of it. So we got basically through like the first area of the game. And just got to the point where the storyline's like basically taking off. It's like you have here's how to play the game, and like we're setting up the characters, and then there's like shit goes down. We just got past the shit goes down part, which happens
okay.
in every epic story game.
Oh, you're in this
Oh, yeah.
village, like in Tales of Berseria. Oh, we're in a village. Everybody's happy.
Let's get
Oh,
some medicine for my little brother.
Her little sister's sick. Let's go. And then you're like,
time.
everything is things are about to go down any moment. What if
The
the whole
next day
game
you
was
wake
you
up
just
and
lived
everybody's
there
dead.
and then you just like took care of your little sister and nothing bad happened?
I think that's called Harvest Moon. I think that's the name of that game.
Or Stardew Valley.
Yeah, I was gonna say Stardew Valley.
Yeah. and I'm like, oh, I gotta tend these crops. The game. Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
And then you played some more Tales of Zestiria.
Yeah, we played some more Tales of. I want to say like Zestria,
Yeah, I want to say Zestria too.
but there's like an I in there, Zestiria. But it's like it's probably Zestria. I mean, people probably just like run it together. It sounds better that way. Anyways.
mean-
Fuck them.
Yeah, if anybody knows anything about the games, they'll know what you're talking about, anyways.
Yeah. So we played Tales of Z, and
Z's nuts.
and we're actually getting pretty far into that. Like how many hours? Like 20.
We're not in 20 hours. We're probably at like 15,
All right, man. Just,
So
like,
you just
cut
got
me
through the
down.
tutorial.
14.
14. Well, this is a little bit. It's actually, like basically, we just got past the part because again, you have start out in place, establish stuff, shit goes down, dealing with the shit going down, and then after that part, it's world opens up, and we're at the world. We're just after the world opening up part, so like maybe an hour or so.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about this last
Yeah.
week.
There's literally a fucking formula every time. But you know what? It works. Like, how else are you going to do it? Like, you're going to start the game with world opens up. Now you're in a town. That's going to be stupid.
That's what like Fallout did.
With, like, going to Megaton? Or, like,
Yeah, you just like as soon as you get out of the vault, you're good.
Yeah, but there's still that beginning
Yeah,
area.
there's also the vault bit.
It's
Yeah.
still the beginning part,
But,
yeah.
but there's no shit goes down part, really. Well, I guess getting out of the vault, there's the shit goes down.
Fallout 3 shit goes down.
Literally, look, we can write an essay on this because it's the same.
But yeah, I mean, Tales of Zestiria, it gets a lot of hate, and we're not super versed in the Tales of games. I mean,
But
we
it's good.
played 2,
Yeah.
and I played like 5 hours of Symphonia, and I'm like, it's good. I don't understand why people hate it so much.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so playing it, there is this feeling you get when some of the characters, they talk about worshiping the seraphim and stuff like that, because if people don't know, you have humans and you have these mystical creatures called the seraphim, which are basically like angels who live alongside them, and they used to live together and everyone used to know about them because everyone like loved the seraphim because they're basically the equivalent to having like a water god and a fire god, and all this stuff. And so people were like, yeah, I want fire, worship the fire god, But then over time, people like, no, fuck it, we don't worship
No,
the
we don't
seraphim,
wanna
and so
do
now they don't see him
that.
anymore, and they're like invisible, and they just kind of like try to do their best, and people are getting taken over by like evilness, malevolence, and so there's a lot of preachy parts in there that kind of feel weird.
I don't really think I don't feel any preachy parts. The only parts that don't sound good is when they tutorialize the skits. Because in Tales they have little skits between the characters, and they like laugh and joke and they do stupid shit. But then they also add like really blatant like tutorials.
Yeah, it's like, we're going to talk about how to do this. And one character's like, really? How do you do that? And they're like, yeah, so this is what you got to do. And tune in next week. We'll go further.
Yeah, they literally said that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite part is like when the games do that by saying like, "Yeah, press the action button to pick up this item," or go into your menu to do this.
Sly Cooper was so good because in the beginning of Sly Cooper, Bentley is like, "Yeah, so like just press like the circle key or the circle button to he says it. Press the circle button," and we're like, "All right, Bentley, I see you."
All right, we get it. You get it, we get it. All right.
Yeah, but
you're right for a turtle.
Yeah, I mean, overall, gameplay-wise, the way the story opens up, it throws you curveballs. You don't always see everything coming all the time. In fact, playing right now, it's at the point where it's like, we're going from area to area, but I can't call what's going to happen all the time, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, I think I was confused with the bridge part, like where you go to like that river or whatever. And you could like clearly like you yourself could clearly like jump across and do whatever. So for like the longest time I was confused, like, why can't I just cross this bridge? Like, what do they want me like? I can't remember like what specifically confused me that kind of stopped my progress with that game for a unload.
Are you talking about close to the beginning?
Yeah, the bridge.
Yeah, the bridge part, like where like you're supposed to, I guess, unflood the area. But I was like, well, why can't you just fucking you can jump that? Like anybody could jump those 2 or 3 rocks across the thing. Am I crazy?
Well, there's a part where you have to talk to a couple people and get them to kind of create like a makeshift bridge across the rocks.
Yeah, no, I figured that out after the fact. But that's what like for me as like a player is like I can jump this. Why am I don't understand the problem here. Why can't I just jump?
Yeah.
But,
yeah, it's a little weird. I the first time you cross it, it's like, yeah, you're just gonna jump it. But I think there's a weird thing tied in with trying to make sure that the people can get it built, and so they kind of hold you back a little bit. And it does they make a big to do about it, but I think they're trying to teach like a lesson about, oh, you have this power and you can't just throw it around and all this stuff like inside of all that. But the bridge part, it honestly was like a big part of the just after beginning part of the game. It's like, oh, the bridge, and you got to go do the stuff, and oh, you can't just you should do it at night so people don't see you doing crazy magic stuff and all that stuff. But Tales of Zestria is good. Tales of Rozarria is good in different ways. And Final Fantasy XII, Matt hasn't really been enjoying it. I've been playing it, and but there's some changes. We'll talk about that. But overall, I mean, I still want to go through Final Fantasy XII because I've always wanted to finish it because I had it on PS2, and I think it's getting close to as far as I've been in the game, like maybe a couple more hours. I do this every time with RPGs. Like I'll go like 8 hours into it and then like just not get back to it.
Yeah. And then I finished Kingdom Hearts 2 and just started
2.2.
Funny. Just started what is it called?
It's not Dream Drop, it's the other one.
No, it's Birth by Sleep.
Oh yeah, the other title.
Where you play as the other version of Sora.
Oh
no,
yeah,
you don't play as the other version of Sora. What the fuck is wrong with you?
You play as Sora?
No, you don't play as it. You don't play Sora at all.
Yeah, I know, but there's that guy who's almost like Sora, who's like
Roxas.
No, not Roxas. The other guy.
No,
Voltus. Yeah. The other version of Sora.
Yeah, but you can play. You pick whichever ones you want. You got Aqua. You got Terra. Don't fucking smirk, you piece of shit. I see you. All right, you got Aqua, you got Terra, and you got Voltus, and you get to pick. Like you have to complete all this.
Is one of them Earth and one of them?
I will literally rip your fucking throat out and then force feed it to a dog. Okay.
The neighbor dog.
Yeah, but I played like 15, 20 minutes of that, and then we went and bought whatchamacallit.
12. Yeah.
12. Well, I mean, Kingdom Hearts 2 super good. You know.
Yeah.
Like. Probably like a 9 out of 10, a 10 out of 10. So good. I love it. Can't wait for Kingdom Hearts 3.
All right, let's move on to our first topic here because we kind of went long with that particular intro series, but we had some good discussions. So what do we want to start with first here?
Yeah, we can just go down a list if you want.
Okay, yeah, that works for me too. So the first thing in our list that we have here is there is a new game called Mega Maker, and my questions about this are, first off, do they have a license to make Mega Maker? Is this being made by Mega Man people?
No.
So it's free then to play because they have to make it free.
Mm-hmm.
But it's basically like Mario Maker, but for Mega Man levels and games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just announced recently, from what we know, right?
I think it's been in kind of like a weird beta thing. I think this is the first big amount of news that they've had.
Yeah, because it's the first I've heard of it, really.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, apparently it's been in development since September 2016. Ooh.
Oh, whoa! So 9 months.
Yeah.
A baby. But yeah, you can just literally go to the website and it's mega-maker.com and then just download it and play. And you can make your levels and I guess show other people your levels, and it's it's Super Mario Maker, Mega Maker.
Yeah.
But yeah, with Mega Man.
I've never really been into Mega Man.
You like Mega Man X, right?
Yeah, I like playing as Zero.
Zero's pretty cool, yeah. Everybody loves Zero.
Mm-hmm. He's like the Knuckles of the Mega Man universe.
Yeah, pretty much.
I have never played Mega Man.
Yeah, I've only ever played one. I think Mega Man X10 or X5 or X8. I don't know.
How many games can you possibly make? It's crazy.
Oh, buddy.
Yeah, there's 20.
Oh, Mega Man. Yeah, buddy.
It's insane.
Have you ever? Do you have any experience with Mega Man there, Fitz Kakaruni?
Yeah, I've dabbled. I played a little bit of pretty much every single one of them.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't remember much about the first Mega Man. It's I played a lot of Mega Man 2, a little bit of 3. Don't remember 4 or 5 at all, so I probably didn't play those. But I remember 6, I think. Mm-hmm. Whichever one that came onto the PlayStation and was really anime-esque and really cringy. And yeah. I'll look that up real quick because I think the intro video is supposed to be really cringy if I remember right.
Mm-hmm.
But played that, and I played a lot. I played more of the Mega Man X series when it came for past PlayStation and PlayStation 2. I think X7, 8, if I remember right. Those are the ones I specifically remember. But yeah, I'll play a little bit of each of them. I never I don't think I've ever beaten one. But I would just play until I got frustrated. I'm okay, I hate this. I hate my life. I'm done.
Yeah. There's a weird thing that kind of happened within the last decade or more, where there was these platforming games, or platforming games and JRPGs, where there's a couple of series where basically they were just on consoles, and then after a while they were just fuck it, we'll just make it for the DS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would approve it for being for mobile. It's more of a mobile game. It's kind of hard to sit down and play Mega Man, I think.
Yeah. Well, I feel it's changed a bit because I can't see myself sitting down and playing it a platform like that and just playing it. Sitting by myself.
I played 2 hours of The End Is Nigh, new game by Edmund McMillan.
The creator of Binding of Isaac.
The creator of Binding of Isaac and Super Meat Boy.
Oh, tell us about that real quick.
It's super good. It's a little bit like Super Meat Boy, but there is no wall jump, and instead of that, you have a ledge cling that you use to get through it. Has a ton of character, and it's pretty funny. And so far the level design is super good. But it's Edmund McMillan, so it's
of course the level design.
Of course, the level design is fucking A+.
I remember he was saying that. He purposely spent as much time as he could making sure that every level has 0 randomization to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's
the whole game.
Everything is planned.
Nothing is RNG in that game.
No RNG whatsoever.
Oh wow!
Everything is planned. Cool. Everything is designed specifically to have a particular reaction and give a certain level of difficulty. It's crazy.
Yeah, it has really over 600 levels.
And there's already 2 people, as far according to a tweet from yesterday, that have gotten all the achievements for the game.
No, wow.
Yeah,
that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
For some reason, I can't access the Neanderthal Gaming TV Twitch, So whatever I put in the chat for Comcast, can you put that over there?
Yeah.
Because I put the Mega Maker thing and the Mega Man 8 video is basically a terrible voice acting thing, which you can check out after the podcast of Dr. Light trying to say Dr. Wily. It's like Dr. Wily.
Dr. Wily?
And this was ported in a PlayStation game for the general audience.
So they must have had actual, like, I'm assuming voice actors who were not, like, actually English voice actors speak the English parts?
I don't know if it's that or they gave them direction, like, talk like this, and they did, and like, oh, well, okay, that's good enough, I guess.
So I guess they wanted them to try to match the way the names sound when they say it in Japanese, but not try to, like, colloquially change it for English speakers so it sounds really dumb and racist.
I guess, yeah, I'm not for sure what the deal was, but
that's pretty weird.
If you want to share that with your guys' channel, I will.
Yeah, I can't open it either.
Oh shit! Like we can't actually see our channel.
Yeah, that's what my problem is. Yeah.
Like we can't even just go to the link and look at our channel.
It's all white.
It's all white.
Same here. That's weird. Why do?
That is really fucking weird. All right. Well, if people are having problems seeing, well, shit. I mean, if you're having problems seeing it on there, you're not gonna even like see it on the Content Complete podcast.
No, I mean it's here.
Well, yeah, it's here because you're visiting Comcast. Oh shit! Is Twitch having a problem?
Is Twitch down?
Check XSplit, dude.
XSplit's fine.
No, I'm just saying to see if it would tell you something.
What do you fucking XSplit's gonna tell us if it's down?
If there's a problem with broadcasting to it, I thought it might say something.
Nope.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can't load up any other channel too. It's just stuck on Comcast.
Okay.
Well, shit. Do we go on with the podcast to just, I mean, is it even going to record the video?
Well, it still says we're streaming. And no drop frames.
Yeah.
And it's uploading. I can see it
So
uploading.
I guess just the show must go on.
Yeah, fuck it. Well, sorry we can't see your stuff in chat.
Well, sorry that people probably can't see us
you.
live, so we're going to have to hope that the VOD works out
yeah.
and we're going to have the sound. So we'll just have to keep pushing, unfortunately. But, yeah, okay.
I was wondering. I was like, Dad hasn't talked in chat.
Yeah. Matt's getting messages like, hey, I can't see your stuff. It's crazy. Let's move on to the next topic and try to just move on through this. So we have Call of Duty World War II Zombies. The trailer was leaked. So, yes. And actually, they were pretty mad about it, and they've literally taken down multiple re-uploads of the trailer.
We had to go through. The dude had like 6 different mirrors. They all got nuked.
But we did finally get one, and we were able to watch it. And
it looks spooky.
Mm-hmm.
It does look really spooky, yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks a little fresh take on zombies. I mean, maybe. Who knows? Maybe it's not.
Yeah, maybe just a really good trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it is a good trailer, and it has a more horror bend to it, which is nice. And it seems that they're going to have more of like specifically like special zombies.
Mm-hmm.
So give it a more arcadey feel, if you will.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up this article that we have, Call of Duty World War II Zombies leaked, and this guy kind of talks about it. He says the 2-minute tease was leaked on Twitter by World War II Zombie Leaks. In the trailer, we hear the voice of Edward Richtofen as we're presented with zombies shuffling through the variety of dark environments, who we assume are the heroes can be seen armed with guns. It appears that Sledgehammer Games won't be straying too far from the traditional zombies experience, which could please the more hardcore fans, but may disappoint those hoping for a refresh. That's that guy's opinion, basically. I don't know. You didn't actually see any actual gameplay. You saw like bits of
just
like
scripted
action.
Shit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say it looks like at this moment it's going to be not exactly the same, but with some added elements and a bit more of a storyline. I think a bit more of like an actual obvious storyline, because in the past they've had like this thing where you just play on the map and then there's like this secret storyline you have to find.
Yeah.
Matt just checked downdetector.com and it's showing Twitch having close to 3,000 reports of people being like, "Yo, shit's fucked up."
Shit's fucked up.
Shit's fucked up, fam. Boy. Well, thanks, Twitch.
Yeah, which is actually really bad because Evo's going on right now. Which actually, we can go on to our next topic here. because that's really
Evo
all
is
you can say
dead
about. Yeah, Evo is dead now. For those who don't know, Evo, it's Evolution Gaming or whatever. It's like the biggest fighting games event of every year, and this particular year is no different. They have like I think 10 different games that I don't know if all of them are necessarily getting streamed. None of them right now, but but
There's Street Fighter, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom,
3,
Tekken 7,
which just came
Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, Super Smash Brothers Melee,
which just
Super
ended
Smash
last
Brothers
night.
for Wii U. Yep, that was top 8 was last night. Injustice 2, The King of Fighters 14.
And then they have some minor games. They have Persona 4 Ultimax, the Ultra Suplex Hold, Catherine. There's always a Catherine event, and there's actually a Melee player who plays a lot of Catherine. Puyo Puyo Tetris, Gundam Versus, never even heard of that. A bunch of other games, Hokuto no Ken, Fist of the North Star, Kohime, Enbu, and Dengeki Bunku.
Fighting Climax Ignition.
Jesus Christ.
Could
So,
you get any more Japanese than that? I
Yeah.
mean, could you just get any more Japanese than that?
Don't
Yeah.
tempt them. Do not tempt them.
It's a pretty
Why
big-
would you do that?
It's a pretty big event for some of the bigger games like Melee and Street Fighter. There's upwards of 3,000 entrants for each game, and
Melee and Smash for Wii U were both down in entrance, mainly because Evo treats Smash like shit, and they don't take us seriously.
yeah, basically, what we mean by that is not only with some of the way, like for instance, they only gave them one stream, which means when they were doing like the losers bracket and some of that stuff, you only got to see like 3 out of 8 matches. And so the rest of the matches weren't even streamed, and some of them were like pretty apparently pretty crazy that we'll never see them. And then on top of that, they have this weird rule where because usually you have like a best of 3 scenario up until you get to a certain point, like
Top 64,
usually
top 48.
it's up until you get to top 64 or top 48. You have best of 3, and then you go to best of 5 because best of 5 has totally different rules. You don't have the same level of stage striking. You just strike to the first stage you play, and then all the other viable stages are available to the person who wants to counterpick later on. But with best of 3, it's a little bit different.
They do best of 3 all the way up. They only do best of 5 for losers finals, winners finals, and grand finals.
Only 3 sets. That's it. That they get best of 5, and it affects the game, those matches immensely, because you get to these moments where the person only has to win 2 times. It's not the same level of adaptation that people expect, because every other tournament does best of 5s for the top 48 or top 64. They do it like for that entire last
or
half.
top 32. I think top 32 is more common.
Yeah, top 32. But so these bigger players come in, and they're used to getting these best of 5s, and they have played each other 1,000 times, and so there's these crazy adaptations that happen, and it kind of ruins the hype of the whole event, because you get these moments where you're like, man, if they had like one more game or like a couple more games, I feel like this player was really turning it around, but you won't be able to see it because it's only best of 3 all the way up to the last 3 matches. And so they're pretty strict on it. People have made a number of like...
Yeah, it's never going to change. Anyways, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The last year they gave like Smash 4 like the noon set, and like noon on Saturday, which is like one of the worst times. And then they didn't really know like anything about the game, so they like kind of just like didn't know the rules or anything.
Yeah.
So that was a shit show. And then this year they moved Melee to Saturday night, and then they have Sunday is going to be Smash 4, which they're trying to make amends for last year, I guess.
Yeah, and which is interesting because usually Melee is the one that closes out the whole show, either Melee or Super Street Fighter.
It's always Super Street Fighter.
Okay, but
Super Street Fighter 5.
Yeah,
Super Street Fighter.
Yeah, so yeah, just Street Fighter, but so because Melee is like, when it comes to people who watch it, it goes.
We have the most viewers.
Yeah, it might go Street Fighter than Melee, but Melee will get 150, 200,000 people watching.
Easy.
Like easy. Like it was crazy because the stream went down for about a couple, like 3 or 4 minutes.
No, it was like 10 minutes.
Was it really 10 minutes? We missed like I think a whole set in amongst that was supposed to be streamed, and this guy in the scene, his name is Alex19. He was already streaming from his phone. he was like Evo IRL or whatever, and he was streaming it, and so he ran up and filmed the CRT TV of the match from off the stage, and he got like 15,000 people watching him in just a couple of minutes, and like a bunch of just like subscribes just from doing that, because people want to see
trick
it.
then.
Yeah.
Go to Evo, record everything.
Exactly.
Let everybody see it.
He's also known for, like, say after an event, he'll have a stream where he gives his opinions on a bunch of stuff and goes back over the videos. So, yeah. So that's Evo, a big fighting game tournament. It's usually pretty good when it comes to the matches. A lot of people view it as like the big one, basically, but it has its major flaws, and there's a lot of people who are like, it's like a bad girlfriend where it's like, why do I keep coming back? But that's the way it is. Moving on to our next topic, did you want to bring us in here on the video game Dunkey stuff?
Oh, sure, yeah. So apparently a few days ago, July 8th, okay, so like 8 days ago, Video Game Dunkey, known for originally making videos about League of Legends and pretty much shitting on that, and now just making general videos and all over the place. He made a video about his critique of video game critics, saying stuff like how it's very difficult to find, when you go to like IGN.com, you look at a review, you have to actually like try hard to find the fucking writer of the review.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to, like, when you actually click on the link to the writer, if you do happen to find that somehow, that their bio doesn't really have any like sustenance to it. Like, it's usually just like a one-word sentence, like blah 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 is a professional gamer that hangs out in the video game world. There's something like very vague and uninteresting like that,
which is really weird because it's like you'd think that they would want to have a catalog that they could show you, showing the person's, like, I don't know, their pedigree when it comes to what articles they've done, and give you an idea as to what kind of person they are. But there's nothing.
Somebody who does that really well is actually Kotaku. They every time somebody writes on their channel, if you click on their name, you can like see their entire
website.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. Tomato, potato. They you can actually like see everything they've wrote for or written for Kotaku. Kotaku, Jesus.
Yeah, I always see those.
Tomato,
they'll have like
Kotaku.
They'll have like a little bit at the bottom where like, yeah, so and so does this and they're up for that, and if you click on it, they have like the stuff that they've done, and yeah, it's like it's way better. It's way just more. I don't know. Like it doesn't seem like why there'd be a reason not to do that, but it's just me.
The only thing that like I could possibly think of is the fact that IGN, how they, I don't want to say this. Well, I guess actually Dunkey kind of makes up a better point, like how people will, they'll write like one thing, like they'll say like, oh, Super Mario Wii U is the hardest game in the world. It's very unfinished. It's very boring. I do not find this interesting at all. And I just don't want to play it at all. And then like the score is like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
For some reason, it doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, it's really
so
weird.
they like. So I can see like maybe the disconnect for that, because then like they can't say like, well, this is what I wrote, but I don't give it the score or whatever. But what else does he say in that video? I'm having a complete brain fart now. Ugh, too much coffee, oh boy.
Oh boy.
Oh geez. Well, what did you think of the video? You just watched it recently, didn't you?
Yeah, we watched it this morning.
My thoughts on it, I mean, it's weird because he makes this video and apparently he got some criticism for it from other critics or what have you. But honestly, it's just echoing the same shit that I've been thinking for the past 6 years.
Well, I think it's the same sentiment everybody's been thinking.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, IGN and other game critique people, they'll take these big AAA games, not actually review them at all, give them like the same score no matter how good they actually turn out to be. They're not actually critical whatsoever, and they completely ignore.
Or they're like weirdly critical.
Girlfriend's going down the stairs. That's what that was.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Don't run. What are you doing?
Can you borrow your camera?
Okay.
Did you say, can I borrow your Kindle?
My camera. She's using my phone.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, but so it's that same thing that happens like literally every time. You know, it's like Call of Duty 9 out of 10 or 8 out of 10 always.
Yeah, call it innovative and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's
No, this is a
refreshing.
new twist on the formula. What? It's not the new twist on the formula. It's the same formula, you dumbass. It's just a different coat of paint. It's like before it was
Different shade of
beige.
shit.
Now, you know what? They added a little brown.
It's tan.
Now it's burgundy.
a little brown and red.
Mm-hmm.
And then he
Mixing it up.
kind of
Innovation.
he kind of points out this circle that happens where it's like, video game gets made, and then
Everybody rushes to review it so they can get clicks.
and so they rush out these reviews and they're like not even like critically, like actually good reviews. Some of them they haven't even finished the game.
Or other things where they're like overly critical of dumb shit, where they reviewed the remake of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, and they're like, too much water. My dog, that shit. It's islands, you dumbass. That's like going.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? It's too much water. Are you fucking stupid? What the fuck?
That's like half the game. Yeah.
Look at the old Ruby and Sapphire. What'd you give that? Okay, there you go.
Yeah,
Was it too much water then?
Yeah, I mean, it did have
It
a lot of
didn't
water
magically
Pokemon.
have a lot of water, more water. It didn't grow water, idiot.
Yeah, it didn't grow water.
Dumbass. It's just more 3D. God.
Yeah, and basically he alleges that there's this relationship that goes on where particular companies that they meet with, that they create a relationship with certain people within the company to be able to get the game early, to be able to put out the review. They have, maybe they aren't actually biased, but they have this I mean, they probably are biased, let's be honest. But they probably have this unintentional bias where they're like friends with this person or friends with these people and they want to be nicer or give it a better review because they want to keep getting these games earlier so that they can keep making these reviews. And that's not the way it should be done. That's not...
Yeah.
Like, basically, I haven't been to IGN
In years.
in so long. Like, I haven't...
Yeah. Same here.
Like, I remember when we were younger, when they actually seemed to make I don't know, like 6 years ago, they actually had what seemed to be good reviews, but maybe you were just young and didn't know. And we would go on there and, we had accounts where we would want to, they had this thing there for a while where you can make your own reviews. And if you had enough reviews, then you could like get a following and then become a reviewer or something like a small time reviewer or whatever. They had that whole thing going on. I don't know what happened to that. But
It's probably dead if I had to guess.
Yeah.
Probably. Dead forever.
But what were some of the criticisms that Dunkey was getting for that?
Because it doesn't even seem like his video was that crazy.
No, it was like
It wasn't.
obvious.
No, it was not at all. There's like some misconstruements, if that's the word. I'm not for sure. I didn't go to school for that.
Misunderstandies.
Yeah.
I said misunderstandies.
Yeah.
Misunderstandies. So like in the very first like few seconds of the video, he just says, "Game critics fucking suck, right, guys?" And he has like literally every like news thing you can find that has like USA Today, has Giant Bomb, which Giant Bomb doesn't actually do the things that he was complaining about, but
No, yeah.
But basically, they're like game critics in general are he's God damn it. I have no brain today. He's saying that most game critics nowadays are like not consistent with what they're saying, like with their score and what they're actually saying. They're not transparent with what's going on, and they don't actually review the whole game, like you said. They're just trying to push it out so they get the first review out, and so people can check it out.
Yeah.
But some of the games, some of the critiques, game critiques people he has on here are not that. They don't do that. They actually take their time. They actually review it, and they make sure that you understand who's reviewing it. Like you wouldn't have like some guy that hates fighting games trying to review like the new Marvel vs. Capcom or something like that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't make any sense. So if like you hear that guy, like if for some reason he does review it and he gives it like a 2 out of 10, like, well, that guy hates fighting games anyway, so what's the point of actually even reading that review?
Yeah.
But anyways, so every single game critique or the majority of like game critics, that's the word. Gee, I couldn't think of that word for like 10 minutes straight. Game critics are having a problem with him, thinking that he's making fun of literally like them
All of
personally.
them. Yeah.
But the first like 10, 20 seconds, he's actually making fun of like how people will write comments on the game critics videos. Like people will say like, "Oh, you can't spell ignorant without IGN," which that one's fair. And there's like a bunch of like, but bunch of shitty YouTube comments, which is bound to happen on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like one criticism that people are having, which is just them misunderstanding his point for that. And really, the only other point of contention is the fact that people are going to have a hard time. Like he's basically saying, "Hey, stop giving scores to stuff. It's kind of hard to, base it on."
Yeah, Total Business has been
score.
saying get rid of scores for fucking years.
It's not a real way to judge,
Especially if you're gonna give shit like 9.6.7s.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
useful.
IGN, you piece of shit.
Just give it a 10 then.
9.3
Fuck.
rounding or infinite or whatever it is. Yeah.
What's crazy is like they're with their current system, they're not far off from having an okay review system. You know how they have the list of like pros and cons, and then they have the numbers next to them.
Yeah.
Just get rid of the number, go a bit more into the pros and cons, and then let people make their own decisions. That's what a game review should be. It should be like just providing an opinion, a logical and kind of unbiased opinion on what the game is, and then airing out any particular issues that you might have had, both actually with how the game plays and with your own personal, like, I didn't think that this was very good, and then just let people read it and then go from there on their own. Like, but what they're doing is they're sticking with a system where they have a number to have kind of like a clickbaity kind of like this got a 10 or this got a 9, while at the same time pushing people towards a particular opinion by saying, hey, this is an 8 out of 10. And so now everyone's gonna be like, yeah, this game's an 8 out of 10. Or this game's a 4 out of 10. And people are like, oh, I'm going to avoid that game just because they saw the number, which isn't fair.
And a lot of people, they don't look at 5s as middle of the road, right?
Which is what it is, though.
Like, they look at, if anything's below like a 7.5, people are like, the game's trash.
Yeah.
It's a 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I spent a long time viewing a 7 out of 10 as a middle of the road game, and then a 5 was like mediocre, which is not true. A 5 should be average game.
Yeah, if I was like, okay, it does this well, it doesn't do that well, it's okay at best.
Yeah,
5 out of 10.
An okay game, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
But people will give like a 5 out of 10 to like trash.
Yeah.
It makes no fucking sense. It totally
Good
skews the
old-
whole thing, because then that's why they end up getting 9.67s and shit like that, because they've squished all the good shit towards like the last 2 points basically, and you gotta like find out, oh, we gotta make it work, and it's like, why'd you fuck it up in the first place, dude? Like,
Yeah, and it kind of messes up with the whole Metacritic system, where like basically accounts for every single review. But there's also people that review things out of 5. So like a 3 out of 5, technically that's like a 60% or whatever.
yeah,
But like the reviews doesn't think it's like a 60%. Like they just think, well, it does a few good things. It's not the best game, but it's not a terrible game. You should go rent it or something.
yeah. Honestly,
Whereas Metacritic will see that as like, oh, well, this is a shitty piece of shit game. Don't ever touch it. Don't even think about it ever again.
yeah. As far as point systems go, I think out of 5 is a bit better than out of 10.
Yeah, but then all these motherfuckers, they got out of 5s, they'll do like, this is a 3.5. Dude,
just put a
Might as well
6
do
or
a
a
10,
7
yeah.
on there.
then that's a 6 or a 7
Why are
out
you
of
ruining
10.
your
Why
point
you,
system?
Like, why are you adding the points?
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
It's
You
so
undermine
it's
your
so
whole
ridiculous.
system.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're gonna do 5s, but like add points, like 2.5.
And
Yeah,
then
just
there was
give it a
that
fucking 5.
that super famous thing where the people Obsidian, the people who made Fallout New Vegas,
yeah.
they were gonna get a bonus if they got a conglomerate score on Metacritic above a 85, or at 85 or above, and they got a fucking 84, and they got no bonus.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
What
right.
the fuck?
Yeah, that's so shitty.
Yeah, I was actually going to mention that
Drop by
before.
1%.
Like, games companies are judging the success of the game based on the
Metacritic, which is a shit site anyways.
Yeah, it's terrible. It's the worst.
Well, yeah, our good buddies at IGN, they kind of totally fucked up the whole Prey score anyways with their 4 out of 10 because they had that game bug or that save bug or whatever.
Yeah, it's just a
But
save bug. If it gets patched, then what is the game then? That's why the number doesn't make sense, because you put that number on there, like the game at its current state is a 4 out of 10, and then people are going to avoid it when, like, logically it should be the game is good. Here's all the reasons why it's good, but we did have this problem. If they fix it, this is how good the game is. You know, like
yeah. Well, the problem with that is that, like, they can't like change their score because they like
once
IGN did
Metacritic
change their
uploads
score.
a score, that's it.
Well, so this is what I'm saying. Like, don't give a score at all. People, if we're having the argument of no scores, and you know, that's how you get there.
Yeah, just stop having scores. That's what video game Dunkey wants, and that's what people have been saying for years.
And honestly, though, not being able to change the score based on when things get updated or changed, that's like shitty.
That's stupid.
That's so stupid, because there are plenty of times nowadays when games come out initially, and especially with MMOs where they have unforeseen issues, because there's so many variables to look out for, that can make or break a game based on, like, oh, we didn't account for this, you know, the way this guy's motherboard works with his, you know, processor in this one instance, and there's like maybe 1,000 people who have this problem, you know, and they can't run the game for whatever, you know, like stuff like that can happen that aren't always looked at appropriately.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? And it's dumb. I don't like it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's
I didn't
it's
realize
the
that they
worst.
couldn't change the score. That's crazy.
Yeah, they can't.
Yeah.
Once it's uploaded to Metacritic, that's it.
I think the only I think Total Biscuit talked about this on one of his podcasts, but I think the reason why they don't allow you to change your score is on Metacritic. They don't allow you to change your score on there, is if you were to do that, if you see a percentage change, you can figure out how much your review is worth, you know, to Metacritic.
Oh yeah.
But still, just stop with the numbers. Just say, hey, this game did this good, this game did this bad. Taking into account what kind of games I like or don't like, here you go.
And what's also crazy is that Jim Sterling, he did a review of Breath of the Wild and gave it a 7 out of 10. And I agree. It's a 7 out of 10. The weapon thing, that brings the whole thing down.
Yeah.
All right. And then the people who love that game, because it was getting 10s and 9s everywhere, all the fans of Nintendo, they're like, yo, how can you give this masterpiece a 7? A 7 is still a good score. It's not a bad score.
It's just that, hey, they had this particular mechanic that
is above average.
Is through the entire game.
It's 2 times above average.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It's a good game. 7 out of 10. Yeah. But no, it's either 10 or 1. That's it.
Basically.
Pretty much, yeah. Or it's like 10 or 1 are like average, which is... It's hard to find a number for average because people but people still think 7 out of 10 is like not average for some. It just
7 out of
depends,
10
I guess.
is the new average.
Also, there was a big thing where it was like, also, the number doesn't matter. Fuck you. That's my opinion. Why are you getting so caught up in this? Like, if you still like the game, that's great. But like, why are you so mad? Why are you so mad?
At the end of the day, they're just video games. Like, yeah, you like them, you spend your life around them, whatnot, but they're not like...
You don't have to like go after somebody because of their opinion.
Oh, he got dogs.
Especially someone like Jim Sterling, who's like honestly has some of the most like level-headed approaches to things. You know, he doesn't deserve that type of treatment from assholes.
Absolutely.
But
the only thing I think of, people who do agree with him, the only thing that they kind of debate about now is like him saying, what is it? I had to look at it. But basically, like reviewing games on how they're a technical marvel at the time, and then like after any game after that absorbs that technology and is good, like Half-Life 2, and like GoldenEye stuff. Like at the time they were pretty good, but they haven't aged well. So he's kind of like people are debating, like people on all sides are debating that point of his. Like you shouldn't give a game a 9 out of 10 just because it has like a really good mechanic or it does something very well technology wise.
You should score it on its entire thing, the game as a whole.
Yeah, but it's also kind of hard to do that at the time though, because like if it does something so well, you're not going to think like, well, that's just the technology, and I can't possibly just give it a 0 out of 10 for that,
Yeah, it's one of those things where like that's a major issue with just having a number because there's no nuance.
Yeah,
Because
Well,
I want to
just-
say this game is great. It's like really fun to play, but you're gonna have to look past the boat parts.
Yeah.
Half-Life 2.
Yeah. Look at you, Half-Life 2.
Yeah. Or the
other
canoe
than that,
parts.
yeah.
Looking at you, Outlast 2.
Oh, Raft.
Yeah.
The fucking raft.
Damn
But I
it.
don't think we have time for.
Well, do we want to make just like a couple of comments on FF12 since we said we were going to talk about it before?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, whatever you guys want to think about it. Yeah.
Well, okay,
I mean, you
so
played it, so.
we're not going to have time to give like a huge detailed opinion on it because we kind of went over a little bit. But what I can say from an information standpoint, some things changed with Final Fantasy 12, and some things say they were supposed to be changed, and from our experience, was not actually changed. So, for instance,
Well, we don't know if it's actually changed because we didn't put it up against the other thing. We didn't put it up against the original. So you can't say that.
we watched a video of a comparison, but what I can say is with they did change how the game's leveling goes and how the characters are treated, because before you had licenses for gaining particular abilities or unlocking like say different types of swords, and you had a board that you were on, and everyone was on the same board but just at different parts, so they had access to different stuff. But eventually it had this problem where at the end of the game everyone ended up being just the same and superpowered. So to fix that, they gave Final Fantasy XII Zodiac Age a job system where there's, I think, 12 jobs, and you can start the game, and each new character that joins the party, you can choose a different job for them out of all of these, and there's no
yeah,
limit.
so it's like a class. Basically, you're picking a class in the beginning.
Yeah, and certain people have
Okay.
stats that work towards particular jobs a little bit more, but you could run the entire party as all red battle mages if you wanted to, which I find a lot of fun.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but you can look it up. There are people who have already come up with ideas based on their stats to be like, okay, this person's a little bit better in close range because they have more health and all that types of stuff. But and it also serves to basically everyone has their own board at that point for that class or job, and you're not going to have the problem of everyone eventually getting to the same parts of the board and just being the same, which
Yeah.
helps that out a ton, and it helps as a player to visualize kind of what this character's position in the party is. Other things that they changed a little bit. Let me see here. So they improved the sound and voice quality. Well, it says improved textures and visuals and improved sound and voice quality. We watched a comparison of the visuals. The visuals did improve, but I think with the particular art style that it has, it still doesn't look great.
It still doesn't look good. Like the textures on the ground and shit like that, those look.
They're obviously
they're so bad. They look
up-resed.
atrocious.
Upresed, like really low textures stuff.
Yeah, they're low textures. Just they weren't even really up-res. They were just like
They're just cleaned up.
they were
I
cleaned
guess.
up, but just like the filter is gone. It still looks like shit.
Yeah, if you look at video of the original game, there's a kind of a fuzziness to everything.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's like they just removed that fuzziness.
they removed the fuzziness and added a bit more like lighting. But
gotcha.
and the actual cutscenes look really good. The cutscenes look great. But then when you get to the game, like the human players have these weird flat featureless
they have
faces
featureless faces.
where
They
you can't
look
really see
plastic.
they look fake. The sound is something that I have a problem with because I had heard
The songs are good. Like the
music
sound
they
design is good.
reorchestrated everything.
The voice acting
Yeah,
is the part that's the problem.
because apparently there was this thing, and I heard this from Dodger while watching the Co-optional podcast. That's where I'm getting my information from. Where when the original game came out, they had to save space, and so they overcompressed the audio. And so you had this problem where there was great performances, but it still fell flat because it was overcompressed. There was no inflection. And what they're saying is here they didn't have to compress it, and that would allow it to sound better. The problem is when you play the game, it is so compressed still that you hear every single breath and just like it's so loud. Everything is so
Jesus.
loud.
Yeah.
And Matt was saying there's a particular character that has kind of a funny voice, and he's really cool, but when he talks, his voice, because they compressed it so much, there's certain frequencies that just hit you.
Yeah, it like hurts your ears.
Yeah, and it
Super high end.
other characters will sound really boxy or roomy
Yeah.
because they hyped it but then didn't EQ that part out because they didn't want to lose any definition, I guess. And it ends up sounding lower quality than it is. And so that's something that, okay, I was expecting better sound, so it kind of, like, oh, that sucks. They could sound better, and there are games from back then that do sound better than what they sound like right now because of just the amount of you can hear every S sound. It's absolutely insane. But if you look past it, you're like, okay, I guess they didn't fix that. It doesn't really change the game a whole bunch. It's just kind of annoying.
They added a turbo mode.
So they.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
They made the world so huge that they actually added a turbo mode to a previous version of the game as well, like a re-release or something like that. Before I was reading, but basically it allows you to get through areas much faster because the areas are so huge. They also added a trial mode where you can go through like a list of like 100 battles where it gets harder and harder and harder to allow a bit more hardcore players kind of get more out of the game where you can take your current party in the game and put them into this trial mode and go through all 100 levels and see if you can defeat it. And they designed it specifically where no combination of gambits or abilities is the combination to beat the whole thing. They made sure to design it where they would challenge people and have people have to come up with different combinations as they move forward, which is kind of cool. But
is there some reward for that?
I
have
don't,
no idea.
I don't know what the end reward is. It says separate from the main game, trial mode, accessible from the main menu. Trial mode consists of 100 stages where players are pitted against a group of enemies or boss creature. They're loaded from the main save file into trial mode for use in combat, so you can keep returning to trial mode as you progress through the game for more powerful characters, getting a little deeper into this challenging mode each time.
The rewards you take back will be determined by how far you manage to get. So yeah, you take rewards back to your main save.
That's right, yeah, because as you go farther, the rewards get better and better. The drops get better. The farther you
that's
get
really cool. Like, so you can like play a little bit, go to trial mode, get some cool shit, and go back to it later.
Yeah.
That's really cool. I actually like that part.
Yeah. It looks like a lot of fun. They also fixed, Matt, you were saying that you had seen something where there was a particular chest that if you open it up at the beginning of the game, it would make it harder to get the Zodiac Spear later on, which is like the super weapon.
It's infamous for its odd acquisition mechanic, that it gets its own section in this article.
Yeah.
In the original Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Spear can only be obtained if the player does not open 4 other chests at seemingly random other places in the game. If any of these 4 various chests are open, the player can no longer easily get the Zodiac Spear. It was still obtainable, but with a low 0.1% chance.
Yeah, and basically, I guess from what people are saying, it was a way for the developers to punish people who were being too greedy. It was weird. It was a really weird, like way to think about that. But it basically a lot of players, especially people who like to go around and find all the cool stuff, they end up getting to this point and got really frustrated because they weren't able to get this.
And you won't know until
it happens.
Yeah,
it doesn't tell you.
Yeah, it never tells you that now your chances are fucked.
Yeah, and so I'm sure that people were able to figure out eventually where the chests were, but you would never know that it was a chest that did that and which chest it was. So. The only
that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's
RPG
really
players for being greedy. That's the whole thing of RPGs. You're supposed to open every chest so you're prepared.
Yeah, I mean, what is it? What's it? The Odyssey, Lost Odyssey.
Lost Odyssey.
They have an achievement for having found every item in the whole game. So it
there you
incentivizes you to do it. Like, yeah. So it's really cool. Well, are there any other particular changes that we can see here?
You get a second job for each character, second class.
Yeah, you can you end up dual classing them. So you pick one at first, and then later on you get to pick a second one, which is kind of cool.
That's really cool too.
To add interesting combinations to stuff. Lastly, I will say.
Overall, I wasn't impressed with the remaster.
Yeah, I wasn't impressed.
I've been playing Kingdom Hearts, and those remasters seem 1,000 times better than this one. Visually.
Yeah.
The textures in Kingdom Hearts, you're like, well, like obviously it's less based in realism, more cartoony, but none of them look like shit. Like just low res, like Oblivion textures on a rock you're never supposed to see bad.
Yeah.
Like
and the game doesn't look terrible. It just doesn't like perform. Like it's a letdown when you see it. I mean, certain parts of the game, like some of the rocks still look fine. Like the sand looks okay, but then you're like walking in a city and you look down and the fucking cobblestone is like the worst cobblestone you've ever seen in a game ever. And it's just really weird. And it's like they had this point that they were trying to get to, and they just kind of like missed the mark on really up-resing it to a seemingly impressive level. It doesn't perform and it kind of lets down. If
Well,
you're
you shouldn't
expecting,
say perform. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
sorry.
a solid 30
yeah,
frames.
Yeah, it's a solid. What I'm trying to say, it doesn't deliver. That's what I was trying to say.
Deliver. Okay. Yeah. That
Yeah,
makes more
that's the
sense.
word I was looking for. When they say improved textures and visuals, yeah, they're a bit improved. They removed a filter and they probably up-resed a couple of stuff. It does look cleaner than before, but in some cases, in certain circumstances, it was better to keep that fuzzy filter on. Let me just tell you.
Yeah.
Because without it, you can see all the blemishes.
Another feature that they added to the game, I want to say, they added an autosave feature, so you don't have to worry about saving and then dying like 20 minutes later.
Every time you go to a new screen, it autosaves.
So that's nice.
Oh yeah. Actually, I specifically remember the point I quit was because I was grinding for like a half hour, and then or an hour. I can't remember how long it was, and then like I died.
And you
I
lose
was
that
like,
entire
oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost the entire. Like, well, I guess I'll get back to this at some point, but I just can't play this today.
I have a
Never
feeling
touch
that
it
was a
again.
very similar situation for myself because
Yeah.
the saves were so far apart in some cases. It was really weird. But
Yeah.
yeah. So that's the game. There's a lot of really cool additions. Certain things didn't quite
Deliver.
deliver the way I was expecting it to, or the way we were expecting it to.
Or if you're Spencer, they don't perform well.
Okay, I was meant to say deliver, guys. And then, I mean, it has the same problem as before. When you start the game, it's kind of a drag until you get more people in your party, because
Yeah.
that's what the combat system is. So I'm just trying to get past that point at this point. But yeah, I think that does it for Final Fantasy XII. We're gonna go to our are we gonna go to our follow screen,
No, we're going to go to the
end scene, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're gonna call it a day after
yeah.
that, or are we just gonna?
Yeah.
So do
Because
we-
we still want to do the net neutrality video, or do you want to save that for next week?
Might as well save that for next week because I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's watching
Yeah.
Yeah.
because the site's still fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we can definitely talk more about that next week, and I think that kind of deserves a longer section than 5 seconds, real quick. So
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. I feel like we should make that one of our main topics. But
Perfect.
did you want to tell people where they can find you, Fistcake?
Well, absolutely. You can find me at twitch.tv/fizzcake. I will stream twice this week. I forgot I'm still trying to get affiliate, so I have to do like 7 streams a month to get that and get 3 concurrent viewers. Anyways, you can catch me there. I'll be playing some games with Evie, maybe. We'll see how that goes. And you can catch me on youtube.com/fizzcake, I think. For some reason, I don't think my URL has changed, but I'm still looking on that. But if you look up Fizzcake, you'll find me. It's a fist made out of cake. It's kind of hard to miss me.
Yeah.
I should be able to upload an hour of Power this weekend. We'll see how well that goes. If not, definitely the next weekend. But yeah, it's gonna be Resident Evil 7. Gonna have some gameplay. Then the following week after that, I will do a video game in 5 minutes for it.
Sounds great. Nice.
That's it for me.
All right. Well, you can find us on YouTube at youtube.com/Neanderthal Gaming TV. That's where this particular episode's going up, and we stream. Hopefully, yeah. If not, you'll just find the audio podcast because luckily we record this locally for that. But you also find all of our videos from when we stream. Speaking of streaming, we do stream here at youtube.com/Neanderthal Gaming. No, sorry, YouTube. Twitch.tv/Neanderthal Gaming TV, where we stream Sundays with a dual stream with Comcast. Mondays for Tales of Rozarria, Tuesdays for Into the Veil, where we also dual stream to Comcast as well, with this guy playing D4. And then on Wednesdays we play Shadow of Mordor. So
No, Mondays we play Tales of Rozarria.
yeah, that's what I said.
Wednesdays we play Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, that's what I just said.
You said Monday.
Yeah.
Oh, did I? My bad. Sorry. But
How you
yeah,
gonna- this is the 16th time you've done this.
Yeah,
so you
well,
fuck it up every single time.
I don't fuck it up every single time. This is the first time I've
Okay,
actually messed up.
14 out of 16 times.
Actually, it's at the most a max of 4 times because we haven't been streaming it that long. But yeah, so we have those streams Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Those are the days that we stream. We play different games those days. I just went over that. We also get all those episodes on our YouTube channel along with our usual Smash content. And you can follow us on Twitter at NeanderthalGTV.
All right, well, I'm gonna
Smash!
kick it to the outro video.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening and watching. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.
Until